Are you also receiving your leads through Google Form and want to create deal in Pipedrive and send personalized emails to them? Then I am here with an amazing automation which is going to do so. So hello everyone, welcome to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to auto-log Google Form leads in Pipedrive and send welcome emails. And we are going to create this automation by using Pabbly Connect. So as soon as you will receive a new response or new lead in your Google Form, a deal will be created in the Pipedrive and an email will be sent to your leads. So if you also want to create this amazing automation, then let me take you towards my screen. So welcome to my screen and let's build this automation which is going to create deal in Pipedrive and send emails to your Google Form leads. So now for testing this automation, let's move on towards my Google Form with me. So here you can see this is the Google Form I have created and now I am going to fill a test entry here. So for that I am going to enter my first name as demo, last name as user, email as demo@pabblytudes.com. And now I am going to enter my phone number as well, and afterwards I am going to enter a dummy message or the query. So here I have entered it. Now let's submit this form by simply selecting this submit button. And as I have clicked over this submit button, my form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on towards my Pipedrive account to check whether we are receiving the response or the deal over there or not. So here you can see in my Pipedrive account, I am on this page that is the deals. And here you can see I am successfully receiving this deal which is demo user, the name which I have recently entered over my Google Form. And here the name of the deal is new deal received demo user. And here I am getting all the details of the deal which I have recently entered over my Google Form. So this shows that the first step of my automation which I have built in is successfully working. Now let's move on towards my Gmail account to check whether I'm receiving an email over there or not. So here you can see in my Gmail account, I'm successfully receiving this mail having the subject, welcome, we are glad to have you here. And here I am getting the same name that is demo user which I have recently entered over my Google Form. So this shows that the automation I have built in is successfully working. So isn't this automation amazing? And you also want to create this automation by using Pabbly Connect? So you can use the code given on the screen for getting exclusive discount on Pabbly and start building automation just like this for your business also. So now let's move on forward and create this amazing automation, and for creating this we have to access Pabbly Connect, and for accessing the Pabbly Connect you just have to type its URL over the new tab, that is pabbly.com/connect, and once you will enter the URL you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly. And here you can see we are getting two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user you can simply click over this sign up free, but if you are an existing user you can simply click over this sign in. And if you sign up your account for free over the Pabbly Connect, you get 100 free tasks every month for practicing Pabbly Connect. But before moving on forward towards creating our automation, I am going to tell you about Pabbly Community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly Community where automation users, marketers and business owners gather to share their ideas, ask questions and get relevant update regarding using the Pabbly applications. So you can also join Pabbly Community now and grow your business with us. And if you wish to join the Pabbly Community, you can find link in the description given below. Now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect again. And here I am going to simply click over this sign in as I already have an account. And once you finish your sign up, you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page where you can see these are the products provided by Pabbly. And as we are going to integrate some applications, we will be using this Pabbly Connect app which can integrate different applications and start automating your work. So for automating this task, we have to click over this Access Now button and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect which can be seen here. And on this dashboard page, you can observe these folders. And inside these folders, I have created many workflows by integrating different applications. So if you also want to create your own folder, you simply have to click over this create a new folder button, and here you have to provide the folder name. And at the next point, if you want, you can even select your parent folder as well. And at last, you just have to click over this create button and your folder will be created. But now I am going to create a workflow. So for that, you simply have to click over this create workflow button, and you will be getting this option for selecting the workflow builder. So here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta, which is modern, faster and more flexible, and another workflow builder we are getting is classic, which will provide you stable and familiar approach. So here I am going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So for that, you simply have to click over this select button, and you will be getting this dialog box where you have to provide the workflow name. So now I am going to provide a name to my workflow here. So here I am providing it the name create deals in Pipedrive and send emails to Google Form leads. And now I am going to select my folder as automation. Now let's simply click over this create button, and here you can see we are getting this pop-up which says workflow created successfully, and we are landed to a workflow page where you can see this option of adding the trigger. Now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is the application which is going to initiate our workflow. So in this case, I want to initiate my workflow as soon as I receive a new lead over my Google Form. So now you can say that I'm going to use my trigger app as Google Form. So now let's click over this add trigger button, and here I'm getting this trigger setup page where I'm going to search for the Google Form as I'm going to add it as my trigger app. So here you can see this application which I'm going to select, and now I'm going to select my app event as new response received. Now let's simply click over this connect button, and here we are getting this webhook URL. So this is the webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge between Google Form and Pabbly Connect for building the connection. So now let's copy this webhook URL, and now let's move on towards the Google Form which I have created. So here you can see this is the Google Form I have created, and now you just have to select this responses menu, and you will be getting this option for view in sheets or link to sheets. So here I'm going to select this option, and we are landed to the Google Sheet, which is the native integration of the Google Form. And in this Google Sheet, you will get all the details filled in your Google Form. And now for building the connection, you just have to go to extensions, select add-ons, and on this add-ons, you will be getting this option for get add-ons, which you have to select. And you will be landed to the Google Workspace Marketplace where you have to search for one application, that is Pabbly Connect Webhook. So now let's search for the app. So here I'm going to type Pabbly Connect Webhook, which can be seen here, and as I have selected it, I am getting this application which is already installed. So you firstly have to install Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and afterwards again you have to go to extensions, and here you can observe this option of Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So here you have to select the initial setup, and you will be getting the initial setup dialog box which can be seen here. And now on this initial setup dialog box, it is asking me to enter the webhook URL and the trigger column. So this is the place where you have to paste the webhook URL. So now let's move on to our Pabbly Connect, copy the webhook URL and paste it over the native integration of the Google Form, that is Google Sheet. So here I am going to paste it in the initial setup dialog box, and afterwards it is asking me to enter the trigger column. So trigger column specifies the last data column of the sheet so that you can receive the data of every column of your Google Sheet. So now as you can see, the last column of my Google Sheet is F. So here I am going to enter my trigger column as F. Now let's simply click over this submit button, and here you can see I am getting this pop-up which says setup configured successfully. Means we have successfully built in the connection. Now we just have to send the test data, and for sending the test data we have to fill our Google Form. But before that, let's move on towards my Pabbly Connect to check whether it's waiting for the webhook response or not. So here you can see it is waiting for the webhook response. So now let's enter our test data and provide the webhook response. So now for getting the link of your Google Form, you just have to move to the Google Form, and here you will be getting this option for copy the responder links. So now let's copy it from here and paste it over the new tab, which I am going to do so. So here I have pasted the link of my Google Form, and here I am getting my Google Form, and And now again I'm going to fill this form providing my first name as Smart, last name as User, email is smart@pabblytudes.com, and afterwards I'm going to enter my phone number as well. And now let's enter a dummy message or the query. So here I have entered it. Now let's submit this form, and here you can see my form has been successfully submitted. Now let's move on to my Google Sheet to check whether we are receiving the response over there or not. So here you can see in my Google Sheet, I am successfully receiving the data which I have recently filled over my Google form, and this is happening because Google Sheet is native integration of Google Form. Now we just have to send the test data to the Pabbly Connect. So now let's click over this send test. And here you can see my test data has been sent successfully. So now let's move on to our Pabbly Connect and check it. So here you can see in my Pabbly Connect, I am successfully receiving this response, that is response A, with all the fields which I have recently filled over my Google form. So this shows that we have successfully integrated our Trigger app. But one more step is remaining, that you have to enable send on event on your Google Sheets, so that you don't have to send the data again and again to the Pabbly Connect. So for that, again you have to go to extensions, select the Pabbly Connect webhooks, and here you can observe this option of send on event which you have to enable, so that your data automatically gets sent to the Pabbly Connect. So here we have successfully enabled our send on event, which can be seen here. And now let's move on to our Pabbly Connect for further processing. So here I'm done with my Trigger app, and now I'm going to add some action apps. And we can have many action applications or action apps. So for that, we just have to click over this add new action step button, and now I'm going to create a deal in the Pipedrive. But before that, I have to create a person in the Pipedrive. As for creating a deal, I need a person ID. So now let's search for the Pipedrive. And here I have got the application, so I'm going to select it, and afterwards I'm going to select my app event as create a person. Now let's click over this connect button, and here we are landed to this Pipedrive connection page, where if you want to use your existing connection, then you can select it, and now if you want to build a new connection, then follow the steps which I'm going to show you. So now let's select this add new connection button, and here we are getting a new connection name, and we are getting this option for entering the API token. So for getting the API token, you can take the help of this help desk, but I'm going to show the steps for getting your API token. So now let's move on towards my Pipedrive account with me. And here you can see I'm getting this option for profiles, and on the profiles I'm getting this option for personal preferences which you have to select, and you will be landed to this page where you have to select this option of API given on the header section of this page. And as you will select this API, you will be getting your personal API token which you have to copy and paste over the Pabbly Connect for building the connection. And now let's save it. So here within few seconds we have built in the connection, and we are getting some of the fields. So the first field we are getting for entering the name. Now you might be thinking that I'm going to do it manually, but no, I'm going to perform mapping. Now you might be thinking, what is this mapping? So mapping is basically inserting the data from the previous step, so that you don't have to enter your values again and again, as mapping makes the field dynamic. So here I'm going to map the name of my lead from the response which I am receiving from Google Forms, as it is my previous step. And the process of mapping is simple. You just have to select the field which you want to map, and from here you have to select the application which contains details. And now I'm going to map the name of my lead, providing the first name and giving the space and providing the last name. So here I have mapped the data, and now this field is dynamic, means this is going to replace with every new response or every new form submission received in your Google form. So now we have mapped the name, and now I am going to map the phone number. So here I have mapped the phone number as well, and now I am going to map the email from the response. So here I have mapped the email as well, and now I am going to map the first name again. So here I have mapped the first name, and now I am going to map the last name. So here I have mapped all these details. Now we just have to click over the save and send test request button, and here you can see I am getting this data ID which is required for creating the deal in the Pipedrive. Now we are done with this step, and now again I'm going to add one more action app, that is Pipedrive. by selecting app event as create deal. So now let's search for the Pipedrive again, and here you can see I'm getting this application. Now let's select our app event as create deal, because this time we are going to create the deal. Now let's click over this connect button, and as we have already built in our new connection, I'm going to use the existing connection which we have recently created. So now let's click over this save button, and here our connection has been saved successfully. And we are getting this first field for entering the title. So here I am going to enter the title of my deal. So here I have entered some text manually for the name of my deal, and afterwards I am going to map the name of my lead in this title. So here I have mapped the first name, provided the space, and mapped the last name. And afterwards we are getting this field for the status which is already open. So from this drop down you can select your own status. And afterwards we are getting this field for the pipeline ID. So from this drop down you can select your own pipeline ID, and afterwards you can select the stage of your deal. And afterwards we are getting this option for selecting the owner. So from this drop down you can even select the owner, and here for the next field you can select the organization by this drop down. And now we are getting this field for entering the person ID. So we have already added our action app for getting the person ID, so I am going to map it from the response of the Pipedrive. So here I have mapped the data ID or the person ID, and now we are getting this option for entering the probability. So here I am going to enter my probability as 100, and you can enter the deal success probability between 1 to 100. And now we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary, so I will be simply selecting this save and send test request button, and here you can see we are receiving a positive response. Now let's move on towards my deal page of the Pipedrive for checking it. So here I'm landed to this page, and here you can see I'm successfully getting this deal which I have recently created, having the title new deal received smart user. So this shows that the deal I have recently created in my Pabbly Connect is successfully created, and here you can see all its details. So now we have successfully integrated our action app, and we are done with our first action app. Now I am going to send emails to my leads. So now let's move on to our Pabbly Connect and add one more action app, that is for sending the emails. So here I am going to select my action app as Gmail, which can be seen here. And afterwards I am going to select my app event as send email. Now let's click over this connect button. And here if you want to build a new connection, then you have to sign up with your Google account, but I am going to use my existing connection. Now let's click over the save button, and here our connection has been saved successfully, and we are getting some of the fields. So the first field we are getting is for entering the sender name. So here I am going to enter my sender's name manually, means this field will be static, and this is not going to change with every new response received. And afterwards we are getting this option for entering the sender's email address. So here it is already entered as my email address. So here you can enter your sender's email address. And now we are getting this field for entering the recipient's email address. So as you know, I am going to perform the magic of the Pabbly Connect, that is mapping. So here I am going to map it from the response of the Google form. So here I have mapped it as well. And now we are getting this field for CC and BCC. So if you want to send this email to multiple recipients, then you can even enter the CC and BCC as well. Now we are getting this field for entering the email subject. So now let's enter our email subject here. So here I have entered this email subject, and now in this next field I am going to enter the email content. So here I have entered the email content, and after this word dear, I am going to map the name of my lead again. So here I have mapped the first name, providing the space, and mapped the last name. So with this we are done with the email content as well. And now we are getting this field for the email content type, which is already selected as plain, but you can even select the HTML as well. And now we are getting some of the fields which are not necessary. So I will be simply selecting this save and send test request button. And here you can see I am receiving a positive response, which demonstrates that we might have built in the connection. So for checking it, let's move on towards my Gmail account with me. So here you can see in my Gmail account, I am successfully receiving this email having the same subject which we have recently entered, that is welcome, we are glad to have you here. And here I am getting the same name, that is smart user. So now you have seen that how easily I have built in this amazing automation which is going to automate all your tasks whether it's creating a deal in the Pipedrive or sending emails to your leads within few minutes. So if you also want to create amazing automations like this for your own business, then you can use the coupon code and get exclusive discounts on your purchase for Pabbly. So what are you waiting for? Start using Pabbly Connect now and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations and integrations like this. And if this video is really helpful, then hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to practice this workflow, I have provided the link in the description given below. So make sure to check it out. So thank you for watching this video. Not only this automation, you can build many more integrations like this by just using Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubt, you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can post it over the forums.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Connect for free now.